This was the response. This was the response we got from the Myanmar government, detailing the atrocities exactly echoed by this lady, who is referring to exactly this particular incident. This is the horror that visited the Hindu families. It's all detailed here, it's all catalogued for any one of those who continue to doubt the government's narrative that some within the Rohingya community are susceptible to radicalization and carrying out, therefore, acts that could be detrimental to the security of other Indians, and definitely carrying out attacks which might be detrimental to the security of other nations, including Myanmar. Now, some basic questions arise on the back of this, questions that need to be answered, and I want to pose one of them. Given that Rohingya radicals have butchered at least 92 Hindus, now remember I'm talking about radicals here, the Rohingya radicals have butchered at least 92 Hindus, will those demanding refugee status for the community alter their view? Let's throw this question out. Joining us this evening, Gaurav Bhatia of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Firoz Mithi Borwala, National Committee member of Save the Rohingyas of Myanmar, Atikur Rahman, Islamic scholar, Sanjay Hegde, a senior advocate, and Suneet Chopra, leader of the CPM. I want to first begin with Mr. Firoz Mithi Borwala. Mr. Mithi Borwala, tell me, do you believe, after what you've heard, the government stands vindicated on raising the alarm over the possibility of the radicalization of some Rohingyas?
No, that problem always exists. Undoubtedly, the radicalization question has always been there. Whenever these kind of problems have arisen across the world, one small section of these kind of communities have become playthings in the hands of Saudi and Pakistani-backed ISI or ISIS and Al-Qaeda. So that is not in questioning that narrative. What we are saying is something very different. In fact, Rahul, I would like to also point out that there have been very lucid reports of Rohingya Hindus being massacred by the Myanmar's army. There are 500 Hindus in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh. That will also give another narrative of another reality.
No, are you
so the point is that today there is a tragedy. Rahul, there is a tragedy unfolding before our very eyes.
Are you suggesting
it requires
that
India, Bangladesh and Myanmar to sort out the problem?
Question. Look, I may not be as well acquainted with the other side as you are, or at least you claim to be. I need proof that the Myanmar's army is killing Hindus.
If that
were the case, our government, I can rest assure you, would have taken up this matter with Aung San Suu Kyi and others.
Are you trying to say Rahul, that is a tragedy that our government hasn't taken up.
The butchery
no media has gone.
Hindus?
None of the media has gone to Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh
with
to talk to the Hindu refugees.
Are you making this claim? Tomorrow you will say...
Ask the Hindu Myanmaris about this entire point.
The trouble is, tomorrow you will come out and even deny.
We have no problem at all.
You will say that these are props.
But there is another reality.
Now, excuse me.
We are only looking at one side of the picture. Look at the entire problem that is in front of our very eyes.
If you're going to keep shouting over me, there's not going to be a debate. You said to me before the show you wanted a balanced exchange of views.
No problem.
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity, sir. You want to shout? Go ahead.
That's fine. Carry on.
You've got 25 minutes to shout. Go ahead.
No, all I'm saying, Rahul, all I'm saying is that there is a tragedy unfolding before our very eyes.
Yes.
The Myanmarese government is very little trusted across the world. In fact, what we request, even at the worst times in the Syrian crisis, the government has told international monitors to come into Syria.
Sir,
United Nations aid agencies are not allowed into Myanmar.
What the Myanmar government does is not of our concern. Please, we are restricting ourselves not to a foreign policy question,
but the potential
on that, please, of a graver threat to India's democracy from individuals who might be radicalized. Now, there are murderers among these Rohingya migrants. Individuals who have blood on their hands. What is the guarantee that murderers among Rohingya migrants won't sneak in if the government allows them shelter, posing a risk to ordinary Indian citizens?
Rahul, it is very clear.
My primary
they have to go back to Myanmar. How do they go back to Myanmar is a question in front of us. How do they go back to Myanmar is the question in front of us.
Well,
that is what we are all saying.
They
need to go back to Rakhine province.
Community to come together and impress upon the Myanmarese government that they must create an enclave on their own soil for the rehabilitation of these persecuted minorities.
Exactly.
So they should be living on their soil in a UNHCR protected enclave rather than in India where they are free to move right up to our borders, fall prey to the suasion of terror groups and come back and hit us.
That is the very point that we are saying.
So
it is the Myanmarese problem. The Myanmaris need to solve it.
So are you, well, sir, that is up to the Myanmar state to do. We are not the
India has an important role to play.
1 minute.
India has a very important role to play in solving the problem.
Gaurav Bhatia, the accusation that seems to be coming your way from Mr. Miti Borwala is that your government is unsympathetic. That's the simple accusation.
Exactly.
And you're unsympathetic because there are Muslims involved.
Rahul, first of all, I think we need to put the debate in the right perspective. And after what has been unearthed by way of all these statements made by certain people from the Hindu community, 92 Hindus killed by Rohingya. Do we need more proof? Every Indian today is shocked and it is abhorring that Rohingyas have been doing these illegal acts. They have been killing Hindus. The issue is very simple. This is not an issue about religion of Rohingya. The issue is about national security, and it is constitutional duty of any government to ensure first that the citizens of India are safe and their life is not threatened. The stand taken by the union government before the Honorable Supreme Court today stands vindicated by what you have shown on Times Now. Second, I would also like to say that the 1951 UN Refugee Convention, India is not a signatory to that. So there is no obligation under the convention to have these Rohingya
No, but many people will say that that is not a very convincing argument because we have allowed other refugees from other countries.
We have taken in
despite
the Tamil
fact,
tigers into our country.
That is a slightly different.
No, Rahul,
that's a slightly different angle. Let's restrict ourselves to security threat. Now listen to me.
No, can I respond
I want to read out a few things. Please, gentlemen, please.
I think.
No, 1 second. I want to read out,
can
sir,
I just...
If you allow me 1 30-second interjection, please. This will only help bring clarity. Now, Shubun, a Rakhine Hindu refugee, he said, last Friday we fled here after Rohingya terrorists came to attack us with swords, spears, sticks and guns. They burnt our houses and farms. The reporter said to him, you said they came to attack you. Did you see them? He said, yes, I saw them. How did they come? The reporter asked. He says, there were hundreds of them, from teenagers to men in their mid-30s. Very important, teenagers to men in their mid-30s. So even young minors were susceptible to this crazed bloodthirst. What were they saying? The reporter asked. Shubun, Rakhine Hindu refugee, says, they said this is an Islamic state. They shouted, Rakhine state is our Rohingya state. Then the reporter asked him, did you say anything, sir? And he said, we told them that Rakhine state is not theirs. They said he would kill Hindus, and we saw them do it. We fled when they set fire to our houses. And he said, how many Hindus have been killed or missing as far as you know? And he says more than 30 Hindus were missing, and we recovered 8 Hindu bodies. 7 bodies were taken today to be buried. This is one of the individuals who traveled to the spot. And this is all being borne out on television by a statement also that has been released to Times Now by the Myanmarese authorities.
Can I complete now?
So many people can't be lying. Yes,
Rahul,
you wanted to make a point, Mr. Bhatia.
Can I just complete my point, Rahul, on this? Rahul.
Yeah, boliye, sir.
I just wish to say that we cannot jeopardize the safety. Yeah. We cannot jeopardize the safety of our country, and we cannot allow these radical Rohingya inside the Indian territory so that they kill Indian citizens, so that they rape Indian women. That cannot be permitted. And most importantly, whether it is the Congress or the Trinamool Congress, they have been doing politics of appeasement. They want to give oxygen cylinders to Rohingya and keep Indian citizens on ventilators. That cannot be allowed.
Okay.
If these Rohingyas are a terror threat
you've
to
set
India,
up the debate.
then
I think
it is important that we act as per law. And the
Gaurav
Foreigners
Bhatia
Act.
have set up the debate. I'm going to play out this
Foreigners
soundbite.
Act say we have
Listen
to
to this
deport
lady
them.
once again. This woman who survived a macabre massacre was, however, converted by force and then trafficked to Bangladesh. Listen to her once again. And when we return right after that break, we will look at the larger aspects with the other columnists today.